علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. SubhanAllah, today is a beautiful day and we're having an event. I'll say it's an Eid event, but it's already past. Eid is past for the kids in our community today, and uh, just decided to share these tips and this webinar live on this platform here, and of course outside compared to what I used to have to share before. So what I want to share today is really an amazing story of how a lot of parents, some parents, have actually tried to help their kids to manage their time and value their time. So today the topic I'll discuss is about how to raise mindful Muslims, the Muslims that are mindful of their time, and of course, the time we live in this dunya is very short-lived. Before we like it or not, this dunya will end, or we will leave this dunya before the dunya ends. So many of us living on earth say, that we like it or not, in the next 100 years, that's even too much. We're all gonna be gone, and all new generations who are yet to be born will be living on earth. So today, I want to remind every one of us and actually awaken the youth. My discussion today will be mainly centered towards our youth and kids and teenagers who can understand it. I want you all to put this video before your teenagers and try to play this with them and try to have them listen to my talk today. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنما مثل الحياة الدنيا كماء إن أنزلناه من السماء فاختلط به نبات الأرض مما يأكل الناس والأنعام حتى إذا أخذت الأرض زخرفها وزينت وظن أهلها أنهم قادرون عليها أتى أمرنا ليلا أو نهارا فجعلناها حصيدا كأن لم تغن بالأمس كذلك نفصل الآيات لقوم يفقهون. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminded us in this ayah of how this dunya is. A summary of the ayah: the dunya is like the plants that grow. The farmer cultivates the plant. The plant is very young, growing, getting watered until the plant gets older, produce all its fruits, and then the leaves starting getting to weak, and then the leaves start trying to fall, and then the plant gets decayed, and the plant becomes something that never exists anymore. And this is how our life on earth is. And that's why the Rasulullah mentioned one of the hadith. He said, لا تزول قدم عبد يوم القيامة حتى يسأل عن أربع. Among the things that you will be asked on the day of Qiyamah, which you will account for, is وعن شبابه فيما أفناه. Your youthful age, what have you actually used that youthful age for? Have you used that youthful age to acquire the lessons or the knowledge to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Or have you actually used the youthful age to get closer to knowledge that will help you live a good life? A lot of youth today, subhanAllah, they are wasting time in things that's not really needed. You see a lot of them, you play games all through. I'm going to ask them, what is the benefits of having to play a game 8 hours in a day? Nothing. There's no any tangible gifts or tangible benefits that will help you tomorrow from that game. You might think the game trains you to learn some understanding of some manners or tricks or whatever, but tell me, will this trick the game has taught you, will it help you to enter Jannah now? Will it help you to earn a career and be a successful person on earth? So meaning a lot of the time I hear it in our academy, a lot of the kids will say, oh, why didn't you do your Quran reading practice that's going to take you 5-10 minutes in a week? They will say, because, I'm busy with school activities, I'm busy all day. But you ask them, how many hours did you spend to play video games during that week? They cannot even count the number of hours they've used. Or how many hours have you used to play soccer, which is normal to engage in exercise is good. But think of the hours and the time you've spent in doing things that's just gonna be ephemeral, things that's just for this dunya, and you don't have 5-10 minutes to actually practice your reading of the Quran. So that tells you you actually have misplaced priorities. Everything is important, but the importance of learning the Quran and reading the Quran and getting closer to seek good knowledge. So it doesn't have to be you only having to seek knowledge to be a sheikh to memorize the Quran. There are other useful knowledge you can seek that will benefit you in this dunya and also be a source of enjoyment for you in this dunya, and through that you can even earn more sustenance and get more ajr of living on halal source in this dunya. So my point is that we will be asked, all of us, and all of you listening to me right now, all of you 10 years old, 15 years old, 6 years old, all the ages that we live on earth, these are time that Allah has prescribed for us to earn and do some other things. When a kid is growing up, they're growing up as a young child, 1 year old. These ages are time they learn their surroundings, they learn different skills. You see a little boy or a little guy having to see a parents praying salah at home. They also start to mimic the parents. They try to mimic how the parent prays. They try to mimic how the parent does ruku'. SubhanAllah, I was listening to one of our parents in our program. This parent had an interview with me last weekend. He was talking about this transformation that has happened to our kids. Imagine kids who are those who do not want to observe hijab, the kids who do not identify themselves as Muslims. And now these kids now, the parent never tell them until they put on hijab. They don't tell them to put on hijab, but this kid doing that on their own. Now the kids take the must-have and read themselves. And I asked them, I said, how come your kid are just taking the Quran themselves and reading? The parent told me, they see me doing that. So the parents also read the Quran. And then the kids emulate. These kids are now young kids, they are teenagers, like 10, 11, 13 years old kids, and mimicking the dad who is reciting the Quran as well. So what I'm saying in essence is that every time of we live on earth, starting from the cradle, a 1 year old, 2 years old, we learn from our environment, we learn from our community, we learn from people around us. So that really informs the way we behave as well. So once a child gets to an age where they start to make decisions on their own, these are the most critical time of their life. When especially once a kid is not clocking 10 years old, they're trying to be on their own and trying to have some understanding of themselves and their body, tends to say no to things. They want to do things on their own. At this time of their life, it's so critical. And this is the time I'm actually referring to today, that all parents needs to be mindful of this time of the life of this kids. Because once they grow up 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, these are critical age of life. That whenever you lose the ability to seek for knowledge at this age, you lose everything forever. It really comes to when you get to 21 years old, 22 years old, we've seen people going back to school, but it's really very few people that are able to do that. So what I'm saying today is, aside from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask us about our youthful age on the day of Qiyamah, aside from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asking us about how we spend our time on earth, we will also have to account for ourselves as well whenever we grow older. Before leaving this dunya, and you will have seen a lot of people grow older, and they'll say, little did I know I should have done more than this when I was young, when I was like you. So a lot of you listen to me, little kids or teenagers, your parents will have loved to learn more when they were when younger like you. Your parents will have learned to memorize the Quran when they were younger like you. Your parents will have loved to do this and that when they were younger like you. But right now, they've missed the opportunity for those who could not do it. Now it's your own turn to actually learn from their own failures and try to get the best out of youthful age. Aside from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, will ask you about this on the day of Qiyamah, of how you've spent your youthful age, of how you've lived your life, of how and what did you learn, and what did you gain as one. What did you gain as a child growing up? And what did you actually acquire as knowledge that's going to benefit you in your qabr? The knowledge that will help you live a good life and help you live a good life on the day of Qiyamah as well. So my friends and families and and students listening to me right now, it's an awakening call to everyone. I know right now this is summer. A lot of kids are now on break. Many of you are now, are going to be on break very soon. So what do you plan to do during the summer? You're going to be less busy at home. What do you need to learn? Imploring every one of you, parents and kids. We have a program here at Maaher Academy called the Summer Root of Faith course. This course will take very little time of your time weekly, 8 hours, I would say, in a week from Monday to Thursdays. And in this course, inshallah, for the next 8 weeks, starting from June 30th till August 16th, we'll be learning 4 subjects in this course. We'll be learning the fiqh of, of the Sharia. We'll be learning the Islamic jurisprudence. We're learning about the fiqh of daily lives, of salah, of mu'amalat, of things that you need to learn and understand as a Muslim youth. So growing up as an adult, you have those, things inbuilt in you. And also in this course, we'll be learning the tafsir of Juz Amma. So we'll be going into the surahs one after the other and talking about the lessons and understanding the meaning of the surahs, inshallah. We also be learning about the seerah of the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the history of the companions, and learning from their lives of how they, withstand challenges in their own time. I would say in this time of ours, especially for those of us living in the West, we have this huge challenge of let's say uh, of disbelief. Subhanallah, I was talking to a family, a parent yesterday, and the child seems to know nothing about Islam. The child is already 10, 12 years old, and he was saying, Muslims do not have fun. My kids, my friends in the class in school are all Muslims, are all Christians. I love to be a Christian than to be a Muslim. Why? And why would a child even say that? A child that's brought up in a Muslim family. So we should know that the time that child is growing up among people who are not Muslims, he has really consumed everything about their religion. He has consumed everything about their practice. And this is what he used to growing up. So you as a parent, I'm throwing this challenge to you all. How do you want your child to grow up? You want your child to grow up empty without understanding the religion, empty without understanding how to practice Islam and how to live a decent life as a Muslim. So we're giving you this opportunity this summer, inshallah, to join this course. It's going to be 8 weeks. It's going to be 2 hours every day for 4 days a week, 8 hours in a week, subhanAllah, in the summer for a child to learn the tafsir of the Quran, to understand the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to humanity. Your child will also be learning the hadith, will be learning going into deeper into like the collection of the hadith and memorizing some hadith of the Prophet that's relating to Islamic, manners and morality, inshallah, in the course. We'll also be learning the seerah and learning from the time and lifetime of the Rasul sallallahu and the Sahaba. So here's a chance. Like I said, I'm having an event here, so I'll not be able to take too long today in this live session. But my message to you all is what I've just passed. Make use of your time. And your time, your youthful age, Allah will ask you, Fima afna, what did you spend your time on? Because this life of this dunya is ephemeral. It's so short-lived. It's delusional. And you might think you're gonna be here forever, but not. Look around you, people have died. Little kids, young kids, older people, those who are of mid-age, everyone has appointed time prescribed and appointed for them. But do you know the time Allah has appointed for you? No, you don't know. You don't know the time Allah has appointed for you. So here is a chance to take a new leaf and seek more knowledge about Islam so that when you go to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you can tell Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I've used my youthful age to learn the Quran. I've used my youthful age to learn about your religion and to know how to practice religion. So you have an answer for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the day of Qiyamah. So you have an answer for that, inshallah. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make all our kids and all of you listening to me, kids and teenagers, the best of the generations. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to hold you firm and hold us firm to this deen and to make our last word, kalimatu la ilaha illallah, to make us die as Muslims, live as Muslims and die as Muslims, inshallah. So until then, inshallah, we'll meet next week on a new episode of my live sessions weekly, inshallah. And inshallah, we're meeting next week, inshallah. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك ونشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت ونستغفرك ونتوب إليك. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everyone. I'll see you next week, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.